or not, you're building a personal brand. So when you come to the cautiousness, because you are posting on LinkedIn, you're posting on Facebook, you're posting on Instagram, and whenever you are applying for a job or whatever you want to do, it's common now that whoever wants to interact with you or do businesses with you is going to check you up on the internet. Now, the footprints that you leave behind is what, the culmination of your personal brand, whether you are conscious of it.
Sorry, everyone. I think we lost Makodi. We hope that they'll be back soon.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry about that. Let me know if you can still see my screen, or you need to share it again.
You need to be shared.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Coming up. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
all
we
right,
can
so
see.
you didn't miss out on anything much. Basically, the definition of terms, and I just try to go forward to key facts about building your personal brand. So a personal brand, something I want you to understand very a personal brand is built based on your skills, your experiences, or values. Now, if we look around the common personal brands that you will see, someone like Miss Techie, who is coming tomorrow, she has basically built her personal brand around her skills, and then you would see someone like Choma Ifanyeze. She has built her personal brand based on her experiences, the experiences she has had as an accountant. So your personal brand, basically, when you're stepping out, you need to have it in mind that it's something that you can build around your skills. You're an accountant, and you feel that okay, you need to teach people, how to manage their personal finances and stuff like that. You can go ahead and do that, and also build your personal brand with your experiences. There's someone who is very popular on Facebook who has built her personal brand, and she's going through a divorce, and she's using that experience, to build her personal brand. She's not encouraging people to actually go through divorce, but she's sharing her experiences and helping people that they shouldn't go through the process or consider other opinions. So someone like that is basically building her brand based on her experiences, right? And then you can build your brand on your values, your core values. Values like integrity, you can decide to, teach people about that, or build your brand about that. Transparency, accountability, just anything that represents your values as a person. Another key factor about building your personal brand is the aim of the personal brand is to position yourself as an expert in your field, and then build trust and influence how people perceive you. Now, everybody is big on integrity. If you want to do business, if you want to invite someone to, facilitate at your event, just anything you want to buy from someone, you are looking at someone who you can trust. So when you're building your personal brand, you have the opportunity. What you are doing actually is that you're telling your target audience or the people that you are serving that I am trustworthy. You're basically building a track record. So in the process, you are building trust. You know that, okay, this person is reliable. This person has been on this place for a while. This person has been doing this particular thing for a while. And I can actually rely on this person, to do whatever business I want to do with this person. So again, you are positioning yourself as an expert in your field. And when someone decides to come and do anything in that particular field. Now you decide that I want to learn how to leverage LinkedIn. I want to learn how to build on LinkedIn. It's easy for you to come to Lucy, right? Because Lucy has a track record of helping other individuals to build their brand on LinkedIn. So what you're doing is you're positioning yourself as an expert in that field, right? So that's the aim of building the personal brand. Remember in the introduction, I told you that you are building your personal brand regardless. It's the only thing now is you are coming to the consciousness and actually taking control of what you do. Now, one of the ways of taking that control is actually putting yourself out there as an expert. So again, you are also influencing how people perceive you. You're influencing how people perceive you. So that is the aim of building the personal brand. So if you're building a personal brand going forward, you would know that what I am doing, as in the process is I want to position myself as an expert in my field. I want to build trust with my target audience, and I actually want to influence how people perceive me. Okay, so the number 3 key factor moving forward is impression is the bedrock of personal branding. Impression is how people perceive you, how people see you, right? How they value you and how they work with you depends on that impression. So don't be careless while you start building your personal brand. Don't be careless. It comes down to what you write. It comes down to your ideas, how you even put your opinions out there. You don't want to come across as rude. You don't want to come across as someone who is careless. You have to be excellent. You have to give attention to details. You have to be trustworthy. So impression is the bedrock. That impression you create around your personal brand is very important. That is why people go into things like if down to color, down to the values they are going to stand for, down to a logo. Why? Everything you're trying to do as a whole is trying to build, an impression around your personal brand. So don't forget this. Impression is the bedrock of building a personal brand. Your impression matters. The kind of color you put out there matters. Your logo counts. Your pictures count, right? And so impression is the bedrock of building a personal brand. I'm going to go over the key factors again. The personal brand can be built based on your skills, your experiences, or your values. Second thing I said, the aim of a personal brand is to position you as an expert in your field, build trust, and influence how people perceive you. The third thing I said, that impression is the bedrock of personal branding. Moving forward, how to get started. Now, to start building your personal brand, you have to first of all know what you want, right? You have to sit down and ask yourself. Now, the 3 structures around building my personal brand has to do with my experiences. It has to do with my skills. It has to do with my values. In all of this, now the question I always tell people to ask themselves before they start out is, what are you going to enjoy in the next 10 years? What are you going to enjoy doing in the next 10 years? Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that building a personal brand is easy. No, it's not. Especially when you're just starting out, you are unknown, So the discouragement and the obstacles that are going to come into that space. Now, knowing what you want and deciding to do that thing that you value the most is what is going to keep you on days that is going to get tough, right? And so you have to sit down and you have to ask yourself, what do I really want? In this core experience, the skills that I have, what do I want to share with people? What do I want to be known for, right? And so that is where it all starts. You have to sit down and ask yourself that thing you enjoy doing, right? And then you're going to introspect, look around yourself. Is it your experiences you want to go out with? Is it your skills you want to go out with? Or you want to go out building around your values, right? And so you are going to, first of all, ask yourself that question and answer that question. Now, you have to identify what you offer. You identify what you want to offer, right? So you're coming to the space, to whatever space you're coming to, and what are you coming with? What is that thing you're offering? Because now, a personal brand, when you see, lately, I think last up from the past 2 weeks, Brain Jotter has been trending, continuously due to that dance and that song he did. That's a personal brand Brain Jotter built, right? He built the personal brand. What he came into the space offering was entertainment. He wants to see people laugh. Now, it's possible to actually, even not just besides Brain Jotter, whoever has used that dance, once you see, you start laughing. Like, it doesn't matter the mood you're in. It's funny, the dance is funny, the song is funny, right? And so that was what he came to offer people, create laughter. Now you have to ask yourself, identify what you want to offer, because you have to be serving something. So you're not just coming, to throw things around, and you're actually coming to serve something. So you have to identify, what you're coming to serve. Now, you have to identify your target audience. You have to identify your target audience. You're coming to serve something. Now, who are you coming to serve this thing to, right? So you have to identify your target audience. Now, when they introduced me on the call this morning, when Mr. Daniel introduced me on the call this morning, he said that I'm the lead executive at Skill to Earn. Now, Skill to Earn, when I was coming with Skill to Earn, I was actually coming to Skill to Earn serves the people that have digital skills, who are looking at, monetizing that digital skill, right? And is looking at youth between 18 to 35 years old, right? Who have skills and are yet digital skills, specifically digital skills, and are yet to earn from that skill. And so what Skill to Earn offer is that it help you leverage LinkedIn specifically and find clients on LinkedIn and monetize your digital skill, right? And so you have to identify. So it's easy to create content or build to serve those particular people. And so you have to, first of all, know what you want. You have to identify what it is that you are offering, and then you have to know your target audience, right? And so that's how to get started. That's where it all starts. If you can sit down and answer this question, which it doesn't take long, you can even answer it after this call this morning. And once you answer these 3 key questions, you're able to start building your personal brand. Moving forward, now, the rules of building a personal brand. First of all, the number 1 rule is the law of specialization. I have had a couple, anytime I'm facilitating for an event or I'm doing my LinkedIn trainings, I'll always have this particular question. So someone will say, I'm multi-skilled. So do I just specialize in one area? Yes. Look at the personal brands that you have around you. Trust me, these people are multi-skilled, right? But you would see that whatever announced them had to do with a particular area of specialization, right? So if you call someone like Miss Techie, you simply know that you're going to learn, video editing. It's pretty straightforward. Now, that doesn't mean she probably does not know other things. She knows a lot of things, but you're able to identify her with that one thing, right? Also, the laws of personal branding demands that you actually step out with one area of specialization. So moving forward, it's the law of leadership. Now you have to be skilled, right? You have to be skilled in whatever it is that you are stepping out with. You are stepping out to teach people personal finance, you have to be skilled in that area. You are teaching people digital marketing, you're teaching people content writing, you have to be skilled. You have to get certificates. You have to have had experience, in that particular area that you are stepping out, or that particular area of specialization. This is because leadership is demanded. Remember, I said you're actually positioning yourself as an expert in that skill, in that field. And so leadership is demanded in that field. So the lots of personal branding demands that you have leadership skills, in that particular area that you're stepping out. Now, the law number 3 is the law of personality. Remember, I said impression is the bedrock of personal branding. So you have to sell your personality. Now, I make this common example. Remember times where you go to the market and you're trying to shop. Now, there's on a particular line in that market, there is a list of, a number of people sitting, selling the same product, right? Or let's say you even want to shop, you go to the mall and you want to pick up something, and there are brands, right, that have the same products and displayed. You just pick a particular brand. Now, when you sit and you ask yourself why you pick that particular brand, it's because they have made an impression in your heart, and then you're dealing with them physically because of that personality they sold to you, right? So there's a law of personality. So you are building, but remember that you're not just building, you are selling your personality as well. So this has to do with your personality, as well. When it comes to branding. So you'd see someone in the midst of their content, whatever it is they're writing, you see that they're sharing maybe making humorous, content besides just what they are offering. And so that besides buying from this person, besides learning, copywriting from this person, when I come to his page or her page, I can laugh as well. What they're doing is basically just, selling their personality to you. Now, another law is the law of distinctiveness. You have to be unique. I'm going to go more details into this when I get to how to build on LinkedIn. You have to be unique. What is your unique selling point? That's when things like your brand color and the kind of pictures you take and the kind of your content style or your brand voice come in. So there's the law of distinctiveness, which says that you have to be unique. Now, there's a law of visibility, that is consistency. You have to be consistent. Remember, I said when you're starting out, a lot of people will not know you at the initial stage, but if you're consistent, you're going to eventually get the visibility for your personal brand. Now, the law of utility says you have to be authentic. Don't go and steal somebody's style and come and try to duplicate it. So you have to be authentic. Now, the 7th law is the law of persistence, right? Again, this law is interlinked to the law of consistency. You have to be persistent in building your personal brand. Now, remember again, I said that you're building trust. So basically, you have to be persistent, because if you come today and then disappear and come, later, you may have lost trust, that trust you're trying to build. And so the law of persistence, demands that you give it time. But I'm going to go into this further when we go to building on LinkedIn. Now, I'll say number 1, I'll say, again, the rules of personal branding. Rule number 1 is the law of specialization. Rule number 2 is the law of leadership. Rule number 3 is the law of personality. Rule number 4 is the law of distinctiveness. Rule number 5 is the law of visibility. Rule number 6 is the law of utility. Rule number 7 is the law of persistence. Please don't forget these laws. Moving forward, now to the core thing for today: how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn. Now, you have to be known for one thing. Again, you have to be known for one thing. If you are going to build on LinkedIn and you're going to excel on LinkedIn, you have to be known for one thing, right? What is that one thing that you want to be known for? what is that one thing that when you come on the LinkedIn space, anybody can, just go there and just say, you know, I'm looking for a personal success coach, and they can simply go to LinkedIn and look for you. Or even from people from LinkedIn will recommend you that if you're looking for a personal success coach, then Judith Austin is that person to go to. So you have to build on LinkedIn. You have to be known for one thing on LinkedIn, and if you are going to be known, if you're going to excel, if you're going to do well on LinkedIn, then you have to be known for one thing. You have to set out to one thing. Now, around that one thing that you're knowing, you're stepping out, you have to be skilled. You have to be skilled in that one thing. Now, the content, if you notice, LinkedIn is highly professional, and the content, I always tell people during my LinkedIn trainings that I have always heard, the slogan or that content is king, but I truly understand the meaning of content. I got to understand the meaning of content is king when I started building on LinkedIn, because your content is like your lead magnet on LinkedIn. So people can actually come and see your profile. You've optimized your profile, and then someone will come and see your profile and see that, okay, this is a personal success coach. But for that person to actually do business with you, for that person to actually work with you, the person will have to go to your content and read your content. It is the value that you put out in your content that determine if this person is going to do business with you, or if this person is going to work with you or not. So you have to be skilled. Your skill is going to be displayed on the kind of content you give out there. Now, there are almost 1 billion people on LinkedIn currently. Now, these people are from over 200 countries in the world on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is not a place where you go and you put out yourself carelessly. LinkedIn is a place where you have to be intentional about the kind of content that you put out there, because these are the kind of people, right, that are actually, coming to digest your content. So you have to be skilled. If you are stepping out in whatever area you're stepping out, you absolutely have to know that you have to bring value, right? And so you have to be skilled. Now you have to build with your personality. I'm going to go into my story, but let me just include this at this point. When I started building on LinkedIn, I think in the 6th month, on LinkedIn, I was posting, sharing content and all of that. And it looks like what I was doing, just a little people interact with my post, my content, and 8 people, sometimes 20 people, sometimes 10, and all of that. For months, I did that for like 4 months, 5 months. And in the 6th month, it was on a particular Saturday. And one of my things that my husband loved to say is, the earlier the better. Now, it doesn't matter what he says he's doing. He can be telling you, I want to do a particular thing, and he will not, he won't do it. But the minute he says the earlier the better, nothing stops him from actually executing. That's like his execution watchword. And that particular day, I just picked this picture of myself and him, and then I put, that picture, and then I just created content around that thing he loves to see, and I told them how much he loves to. He takes action as soon as you hear them, you hear him say the earlier the better. And that content went viral, and that was it. And that was like what led me to having visibility on LinkedIn. What happened? It was not just about sharing, my skills or my expertise. This time I let them in on my personality, right? And people saw that, okay, oh wow, I don't know, whatever it is, it ticked, in their heart, but that content went viral, and that was the beginning of my big break on LinkedIn. And that's how I began to grow. And in 2 months, I was recognized by Favicon as LinkedIn Rising Star because they do their ranking, I think, quarterly or so, and I've been like the growth has been progressive since then. So you have to share your personality on LinkedIn. I know that LinkedIn is highly professional. So when a lot of people come to LinkedIn, they're like, oh, this professional space, let me just, be highly professional, just make content around my skills and all of that. But you have to sell your personality as well. When I saw that happen, I now incorporated that into my content strategy, and I have been building and growing based on that, right? And so that is one of the things that you do. All of this I teach in details when you come to my LinkedIn masterclass. So I teach the content strategy and all of this in details. So you have to build with your personality. Let people, besides just that professional person, let people be able to interact, and meet you, the person, behind the brand as well. So be unique, right? Identify your brand voice. Is it persuasive? Is it friendly? And all of that. I know that it's LinkedIn, yes, it's professional, but you can be friendly, you can be humorous in trying to be unique. That thing that is just specific to you. Now, uniqueness has to do with voice, your brand voice, as well as your color as well. So your brand color and your logo. So those are the things that can actually make you unique on LinkedIn. My brand color is yellow, bright yellow. Now, one of the reasons why I picked that brand color was the fact you can see it even on my slides. So yes, and I'm wearing yellow, coincidentally, yeah, right? And so you have to, people automatically on LinkedIn or on any social platform can just give you the name Yellow Queen, LinkedIn Queen, and all of that based on the uniqueness that you serve, right? And so part of the reasons why I chose that is the fact that you can't deny yellow. Yellow is outstanding, and so I wanted to be outstanding. I wanted to be undeniable, and then I picked that. So wherever you see me, you know that yeah, this is Lucy. This is Lucy's color, and yeah, so you have to be unique. You have to be unique. Now you have to be consistent. Again, building a personal brand is not easy. It's hard. Remember, you are just trying to put yourself out there and you are not. Now, does it stay hard? Does it remain hard? No, it doesn't. But eventually going to get the visibility that you need. But it is consistency that brings that visibility. And so you have to be consistent. And the truth is, a platform like LinkedIn, there's no way you post and ghost and you will grow. You can't. It has to do with being consistent, right? It has to be with being consistent, posting, finding the posting time, posting at that same time every day. It has to involve supporting other creators, and all of that. But you have to be consistent. It's going to be tough at first, but eventually you're going to carve your niche and you're going to build yourself, implant yourself, make yourself memorable in the people that you are, with the people that you're interacting with, and the people that you're interacting with your content. You're going to be building your community as you go, and that's all it takes. Before you know it, you've exploded, and then you're doing and getting the results that you desire. Now, be real, right? Don't fake anything. Don't fake anything. Don't fake. Just be real. People can tell, actually. That's the one thing people fail to understand, that if you're being fake, people can tell. And remember, I said that you are building trust. So if you're being fake and people can already tell that this individual or this brand is fake, they're likely not to work with you. They're likely not to patronize you. They're likely not to ask for your services. So you have to be real. Don't fake anything. And finally, I would say give it time. Growing a personal brand on LinkedIn demands your patience, right? It's going to happen. Whatever you've set out to achieve is going to happen, but you have to give it time, right? You're going to be consistent. On days you feel like you don't even feel like it, just show up. On days you don't feel like it, you're on days you're not in the mood, just show up. Eventually, you're going to have that one thing that is going to just open you up, and And one thing I say is LinkedIn is one of the easiest platforms to build on. Funny enough, because there are a lot of creators who are just starting up like yourself, and the support on LinkedIn is huge. That's the word. Because there are a lot of creators like yourself who are just starting up, they are willing to actually support you to grow. And so if you're looking at the opportunities on LinkedIn, they are numerous, they are mind-blowing. And the number of people that are LinkedIn, the exposure, to international clients, to, building your community and having a lot of people from different countries as part of your community are numerous. So this is all you need. That's besides going into, all, because we're talking about the personal branding aspect of it, and this is why I brought this aspect of it. But I have a LinkedIn training masterclass that I do, where we go into LinkedIn profile optimization, the kind of content, your target audience. We do all of that at that point. But here right now, when it has to do with your brand, these are the basics that you need to get started. You have to identify that one thing. You have to make sure that you are skilled in that one thing, And the thing about skilling is you always upskill, so that you don't get, or your ideas or whatever it is that you have to share don't get outdated. Now you have to build with your personality. Let people meet that person behind the brand. You have to be unique, find your unique selling point. You have to be consistent, stay consistent on good days and on bad days. You have to be real. No, authenticity is key. And then you have to give it time. Moving forward, okay, my story, and I end with this story. Now, one of the things that I know that happen in such events is, like this, is people can go and forget whatever it is that you spoke about, but they're likely not to forget your story. So I try to sell as much as I always talk about my story when I have opportunities like this. So it was in 2000. The first time I actually learned the digital skill was during the COVID in 2020, and I had the skill, but it was difficult for me to actually get a client. I was thinking, how am I going to move from the process of actually just having the skills, actually monetizing the skill. And yes, I eventually one of the days I reached out to someone and I was able to get my first client. But after my first client, which was in April of 2021, it took it, in fact, the whole of 2021, I was unable to get another client. I was trying to get some of the strategies that I had done before that to work for me, but it didn't work. Now, I one of the days I received an email from Immense Coaching Company. I actually subscribed to their email list, and then they sent me that email. And they were having on the call that day, this lady Haoma, and she was on the call, and she was teaching about LinkedIn, just like you're on the call that day. And she spoke about, her experiences like on LinkedIn. And I was looking at this face and I was looking at how she's so young. And I was wondering how, because Immense Coaching Company, if you know them, they're one of the top brands when it comes to the personal space, personal development space. I beg your pardon. And I'm looking at her and I'm trying to relate how this young girl is able to be on this platform speaking. And I listened to how she spoke about LinkedIn and how LinkedIn has given her all these opportunities. Right there on the call, I went to her page and I checked her out and I saw the amazing things she was doing and I was truly inspired. And I was like, okay, fine, let me go on LinkedIn and start as well. I went on LinkedIn. One of the pitfall I had was I had not identified what it was that I wanted to do actually. And then I started, but I dropped off. I think 2 weeks or a month, so I dropped off and then I left in LinkedIn. So one of the days I went again and I played that video again. And I saw what she said. I went to her page again. I actually saw that she was being authentic. She actually has all these opportunities. So I'm like, okay, what is it that if this girl actually has gotten it and LinkedIn has opened her up to her this much, then there's something I'm missing. And then I sat down and I asked myself what it was that I wanted to step out and truly with that I would enjoy doing, and I answered that question. I started. Now, I mentioned earlier that when I started, it was not, it wasn't a smooth ride because nobody knew me, but I kept building. And then one of the days, like I mentioned, I posted that stuff about my husband, and then my LinkedIn, took up. And and that's how it started. Now, from that time, in 10 months, I was able to grow a community of 10K followers. In the 7 months, I was ranked by Favicon as LinkedIn Rising Star 2023. And I started getting clients. Now, it wasn't a question of looking for where to get clients. I actually had my future section where you can actually pay, and do a one-on-one session with me. And people started paying for that. And in the 9th month, before I even hit the 10th month, I had a tech company reach out to me, and they gave me an offer, an irresistible offer. Now, when I was coming up on LinkedIn, I didn't even plan. It wasn't in my plan to actually get a job, but when they gave me that offer, it was irresistible. And then currently I work with that company, and they employed me in a management position. Now, these are just a few benefits of what LinkedIn can do for you. And yes, today I am here on the American Spaces, speaking to you right now because LinkedIn gave me that opportunity. So if you're a young person, as a matter of fact, if you're even an aged person, you can leverage LinkedIn. If you want to build your personal brand, especially, LinkedIn is that platform. I hope that what you've learned this morning will inspire you, to take action. And my story as well will inspire you to take action this morning. And with that, we have come to the end of my presentation this morning. Over to the host. Thank you for listening and being part of this.
Thank you so much, Lucy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Lucy. Let's do that quickly. Thank you. That was actually a very inspiring contribution you put out there, and we're delighted to have you on this program today. All right, let's take questions. We don't have much time. I will just allow Josephine to moderate the question aspect of this program for today. Josephine, over to you. But before I go, let me ask my question before I leave. Quickly, what are the job opportunities on LinkedIn? I can actually leverage on the job opportunities on LinkedIn. Josephine, over to you.
All right. Lucy, would you like to take that first?
That doesn't make sense. What's that? I'm sorry.
Dan is asking what are the job opportunities on LinkedIn.
Job opportunities. Well, job opportunities has to do basically with what your skills are or what your skills are around.
Sorry, just a moment. Josephine, can you tell Prof that we can hear him loud and clear?
Oh. Sorry, we're having an in-person program and there's no way. Okay, I'll see what I can do about that. Thank you. Lucy, please go ahead.
Yes, so there are a lot basically, but it has to do with your area, right? Okay, my name is Mlumun Jiki on okay, sorry, I got interrupted. Let me just focus on the question I'm answering. I got interrupted by the question in the comment section. Yes, so it basically has to do with what it is that you're offering, but a lot now. I work in a corporate setting now, and one of the first things we do whenever we want to hire, right? I interact with the HR, as the HR department, as much as I don't have to do anything directly with, the hiring process. One of the things that is common within all organizations, not just my organizations, is that the first place the HR will usually go to in any firm most times is LinkedIn, right? During the hiring process. So absolutely. Now imagine the number of companies that has to do with whatever it is that you are doing, and the first place they are going. Now, even if they don't put the opportunity on LinkedIn to hire directly from there, they are absolutely going to check your LinkedIn profile, when you come for the interview now. So there are the chances that you're going to get a job from LinkedIn or whichever area and whatever scale is 99%. I promise you. So that's how I'm going to answer you that question, because I don't have the statistics on, different sectors or all job listing, but I promise you that whoever is going to hire you is going to check your LinkedIn profile. And there's some companies that actually just request for your LinkedIn profile directly. So yes, that's the opportunities.
All right, thank you very much, Lucy. So we have some answer or virtual answer up. Because we have limited time, we are going to be going directly to the question. So I call on Enugu. Please, can you quickly unmute yourself and go straight to the question? We want to try and finish up in 5 minutes. Enugu, are you ready?
Good morning, ma'am.
Please go ahead. Yeah, straight to the question. Straight to the question.
Right. So, how feasible is it for a student to start up a personal branch and maintain it alongside academics, especially when it involves skill, for example, hairstyling? And would you advise someone to continue with such a skill and build a brand around it, or better still look for another skill?
Lucy, did you get that?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely.
Enugu, please, we need to take from other centers. So Enugu, we need to take from, we have other spaces. So just let her answer the lady's question.
Yes, you can actually build your personal brand around hairdressing, right? But honestly, on a scale of 9 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would advise every youth now to have a digital skill, right? I would advise that. I don't see why you are doing hairdressing at this point. Now, I'm not disputing it. It's absolutely a very good skill, and I love whoever is doing that. But with our current world, I would advise that you have, a digital skill besides that skill now. But this is how you can build. I was sharing the fact that the majority of people you're going to find, the top creators you're going to find on LinkedIn are people who are between 22, in fact, 20 to 25. It's not even some of us that are out of school that are professionals. As a matter of fact, it's like people within my age range were late. Most of them are students, right? And I have some of them during my webinars. They are students. I have a student in University of Edo that got her first 1 million, and it's a retainer gig. That's $1,000 gig in the first 31 days of being on LinkedIn. But she's a social media manager, right? So one of the things you can do, because hairdressing is not professional, you can go to a platform like LinkedIn, I beg your pardon, Instagram, and then build content around when you're doing that hair for your clients or stuff like that, and post it. So eventually, you also run paid ads. So the people that are in your primary location are going to patronize you. So that's how you're going to basically build your brand around hairdressing. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much, Lucy. We run to Maiduguri. Maiduguri, can you unmute and ask your question? Please go straight to the question. Straight to the question.
Good day. My question is it possible that after creating a LinkedIn profile and link your other socials like Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, can you make a post and then the post be shared automatically to the other socials? That's my question.
No, at some point, no. at some point, LinkedIn had that connection with X. That was when it was Twitter, where you can cross post, but it's no longer active. So you can only post on LinkedIn. But if you created that post on LinkedIn, you have your content strategy, you created the post. It's just for you to post on the other platforms, basically. I know that you can cross post between Facebook and Instagram, but you have to post on Twitter independently and then post on LinkedIn independently as well.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
Thank you, Lucy.
please,
Someone is
there is
asking, Meduguri, just hold it.
yeah, there is another question by one of our colleagues. How can we overcome? The question is, how can we overcome fear of failure in personal branding?
You're just like anything else, you're going to try, right? You're going to do it regardless. Like I said, that one post made me to go back and recreate my content strategy. So there's nothing that you don't need to, like, you're just going to jump on it and then have success. You're going to fail on LinkedIn. Like I said, I started and I left and I came back again. You're going to fail in whatever it is. Like, there's nobody that has a success story without
What are we here for today? This session undergraduate. I know there's some So, did you answer your question?
Yeah, we just hold on for Miss Lucy to come back. Like we lost connection with her.
How you can become
Meduguri, please, can you mute yourself? So we have other questions in the chat box. Once she comes up,
I'm back.
she's going to. All right. So someone is asking, what is your URL for Skill to Earn?
Yes,
They want to
my
contact
network
you after
at
this
this
program.
is actually okay. I'm going to send it to Mr. Daniel. She'll probably share it with you, ma'am, and then you can drop it in the. Because I'm trying to copy it, but my network is. I'm still unable to copy it, but you can. Yes, you can search for Lucy Jiki. That's LucyJiki on LinkedIn, and then send me a message inbox. But as soon as I copy the URL, I'll drop it.
So I just chat that in the chat box.
Yes, but you actually put them together. You can just Lucy Jiki, there's a space. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we go to Calabar. Right. Calabar, please unmute and go straight to the question, please.
I need to say you got lost on LinkedIn. What could be the reason? And also, I want to know, because of the specifically taught us about the brand. Now, I'm interested in the brand. I want to know, are there any guidelines to support me to know what the brand? Thank you. You get a question?
Did you hear his question?
No, I didn't.
Calabar, your audio is a bit poor. Can you chat your question to the chat box?
Okay, I can go again. So, can you hear me?
It's still muffled, kind of. It's not clear.
Yeah. Please chat it in the chat box. We pick it up from there. So we have a question in the chat box. Says, my question is, how can one leverage LinkedIn to build professional skills as a starter?
How can one
leverage LinkedIn to build professional skills as a starter? How can you leverage on LinkedIn?
There's a LinkedIn hub where they do trainings, right? Where you have just like you have what's that platform?
Is it YouTube?
Yes, just like we have YouTube, but there's another
Tutorials.
this I'm actually just like you have
Coursera.
yes, thank you very much. How can I be forgetting Coursera? Just like you have Coursera to actually learn, YouTube has that training, and LinkedIn has the training hub as well. So you can just go to it and actually take advantage of it. Or you can learn on YouTube basically. But if to build a personal brand, that's how to leverage LinkedIn. Now, when you're on LinkedIn as well, you can actually just look for people who are in the same need, like yourself. I'm not saying follow them or connect with them. I'm saying that you can look for them and look at the kind of skills they have and what they are putting out and learn from them as well.
Okay, thank you.
I just noticed that since we've been on this call, let me say this. It's just one person, who has followed me, and that's very sad, who has connected with me. If you're on this call right now and you're listening to this conversation, one of the first things I expect you to do is to have downloaded LinkedIn. Go to your Play Store, download LinkedIn before this conversation is over, and then connect with me. So you can ask questions, or you can even see what I'm doing and try to learn from it. So you can't be on this call now and you have not taken action. So bring
We just hold on for some moment. Seems we lost connection with Lucy. Enugu, do you still have a question? Your hand is still up.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
On the chat. The question is on the chat.
Is it the contact? Our contact?
No. The question I wanted to ask. We typed it on the board.
Yes. Seems I've taken all the questions in the chat. It's only Calabar I can see.
Okay, I want to repeat the question. I heard people say they got blocked on LinkedIn. What could be the reason? Also, are there guidelines to support me to know what to brand?
Please, is it Enugu that is asking question?
No, it's Calabar.
Okay, Calabar.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, people got blocked on LinkedIn. What could be the reason? Also, are there guidelines to support me to know what to brand? It seems we lost connection with Miss Lucy. Let's see if she's able to come back. Hello, Grace. Hello, Grace. Can you hear me?
Lost connection.
Josephine.
Yes, good morning, Grace.
Morning,
Please, can you help us to find out what's going on? It seems we lost connection with Lucy. She has only one question more to answer.
Okay.
Thank you. So, hello, Calabar.
Yes, we are still there.
maybe you should tell us why those people said they got blocked. Because it seemed as if it didn't happen to you personally. It's a report that you have.
Maybe sometimes when they go against the rules of LinkedIn, probably advertising or something. So this particular person is new to LinkedIn. As a matter of fact, he doesn't know how to begin putting his foot forward. So that's why I'm very interested in so that he doesn't start and get kicked out, which is important.
Because I know LinkedIn is practically a pure professional platform. So, and I think you've answered this question.
Actually, because I know someone tried selling a certain kind of product that was kind of suspicious, and
yeah.
So I think it's
All
not
right.
a professional approach.
Yes, purely professional for professionals. So,
the guidelines,
if we
you
can,
ask about example, I think I remember one, she talked about the specific and then the exact, what exactly you want to do on LinkedIn, and then be professional about it. Also, give time to it. I think I can remember some of this. Give time to whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah. Oh, she's back.
yeah. So Lucy, welcome back.
Sorry, we had a network. Yes, I'm back. Sorry, we had a little network challenge, but we've been able to resolve it.
Okay. So someone was asking a question from Calabar that how can one, sorry, no, that's not the question. Okay, someone was asking what could be the reason for someone to be blocked on LinkedIn? Did you get the question? Hello, Lucy?
You're breaking, ma. I can't hear you.
Okay, someone asked a question that some people were blocked on LinkedIn. That what could be the reason for that? You can read the question, is on the chat box if you cannot hear me clearly. The last question on the chat box.
Yeah, so when you're inactive on LinkedIn, LinkedIn has a filter. So after a while, they basically, I think, block your account or something. So if you want to be live again, you have to, yes, create another account with a different email and start again. So you probably, whoever was blocked, you probably did not take action. So after you started on LinkedIn, it probably has been inactive for a very long while. And so LinkedIn filtered your account out. They are very big on actually having active users. And that's why the chances of building and doing well on LinkedIn are much, because most of the people on LinkedIn are actually very active.
So the same person asked the question, what are the guidelines to support me to know what to brand?
Basically, what do you want to do? Like, what are your skills? What are your experiences? You know, you're a student. You can share experiences based on that, right? Or if you have a digital skill already, you can share your experiences based on that. Okay, so yesterday someone had a personal LinkedIn training session with me. I offered that session as well. And she's currently enrolled in her PhD. You know, she's doing a PhD in business management, I'm sorry. And I told her that she can simply, you know, create content around that, because her aim is actually to attract a job, right, on LinkedIn. And so she is not currently working in any organization where she can be putting out the experiences, you know, from her position. So, but her experiences as a student, you know, who is, you know, currently pursuing her PhD, you know, where she's going to class, the new topics, you know, the interactions and all of that. She can build her brand, you know, based on that. And before you know it, Someone is probably offering her a position in their organization. So it depends. As a student, what are the common challenges, student experience? What solutions or strategies have you found to address those challenges? You can use that as content and build your personal brand around that.
All right, thank you. So we have the last question from Oshogbo. Oshogbo, can you unmute and go straight to the question? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It was enriching. My question is quick. As an health worker, what are the available spaces? What are the opportunities that one can realize by joining LinkedIn? Thank you.
Lucy, did you get the question?
I didn't get that question, please.
Okay.
He's asking as an, okay. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
An health worker, what are the available opportunities, spaces, or opportunities that one can make use of when you join a LinkedIn?
What are the available opportunities? You have the opportunity of growing your community. You have the opportunity of working with international clients. You have the opportunity of people buying whatever, picking your services. If you're a graphics designer, for instance, and you are on LinkedIn and you're posting content around that, there are lots of people who are going to reach out to you, for brand designs and all of that. So there are a lot of opportunities. Now, a company can come and pick you and say, work with us as our graphic designer. Currently, we're even recruiting, and the company where I work at, and we're recruiting for a graphic designer position, right? So you have several opportunities, speaking engagement. From the time I joined LinkedIn up until now, I've spoken at over now, if I'm being modest, let me say 40 speaking engagements, right? And one of the things I want to do, one of the things I was looking at achieving on LinkedIn is coaching opportunities as well. Now, this 40 plus speaking engagement does not even include my personal trainings that I hold, speaking for different organizations, speaking for different events, my personal one-on-one sessions. I have people that subscribe to that and pay me money from LinkedIn. My personal LinkedIn training, where I teach people how to grow and grow on LinkedIn and position themselves as LinkedIn experts. People pay for that training as well and attend that training. So those are the opportunities. They are numerous.
Okay, Oshogbo, are you? She has answered your question.
I know one of the persons.
Not exactly.
No, ma. Please narrow down your submission to a network at work.
It's the same. Yes, it's the same guideline.
It's the same guideline. I have a network, a health worker, who is part of. She's, I think, a nutritional coach or something. I started staying hydrated, based on the kind of content she put out on LinkedIn. She talks about how you need to drink water within the day, and that's what her post centers around, about nutrition and general health. Now, if that lady was to organize any kind of training, I'll pay for it and attend because she has personally helped me. And I used to have a lot of acne challenges. And one of the posts I remember she posted and said, water or staying hydrated can help you to improve your skincare or skin quality. And I picked that up from her content and I'm practicing it and it's helping me. Now imagine she wanted to host or have a step down training where she can just do that for a couple of people and educate you better. I would take that training, pay for it, and participate in it. So there are a lot of health workers. There's an award-winning nurse on LinkedIn that actually is connected with me as well. She has traveled, I think the last time she was in Ghana, and she was being awarded because of the kind of work she does on LinkedIn. Her content is around educating nurses or something. I can't remember now, but I know she's there. And so, yes, health workers, you can build your around that experience as well, following the same guidelines, of course.
So what I'm trying to say is you need to look for what.
All right. Thank you.
No, it's not necessary to subscribe to LinkedIn Premium. I am on a free version. You can absolutely do a lot with your free version. So you can build your brand with a free version. Can LinkedIn account be hacked? I'm sure any system that is built can be hacked, but the likelihood of your LinkedIn account being hacked, let's say out of 100 is 10%.
All right. I think you've taken all the questions. Thank you so much for coming on this program this morning. We've all benefited immensely. And I think I need to go and reactivate my LinkedIn account. And I know that in a short while, I should be able to build a standing brand. Please, let's appreciate our guests this morning. Can we put our hands together as we appreciate Miss Lucy? Thank you very much. We also want to appreciate all the participants. You wanted to say something?
No, I said the name is Lucy on LinkedIn again. Can connect.
Okay.
We already see some questions, and I'll be willing. I'll answer all the questions on when we get to that space.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. We are so grateful for your time. I want to announce once again that tomorrow we are starting our MOOC camp on getting started with YouTube business. And we are looking forward to having all of us in the Zoom, in our spaces and also in the Zoom room. Thank you so much. Do have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much.